Melania Trump is in serious legal jeopardy, and she may have just made it a lot worse. Despite repeatedly denying any connection to Jeffrey Epstein, she's now caught in the crossfire of her own actions. Why? Because she's been threatening journalists who dare to link her name to Epstein's. But here's the twist. Why keep fighting these allegations when there's so much evidence staring her in the face? It's not just about defending herself anymore. It's about covering up something much bigger. Stick around, because this is where the story takes a turn you won't see coming. Now let's talk about what Melania is really doing here. It's not just about threats anymore. She's taking legal action. When journalist Michael Wolff published articles connecting her to Epstein, she didn't just deny it. No, she went further, issuing a $1 billion lawsuit threat. But here's what she didn't expect. Wolff didn't back down. Instead, he fired back with his own lawsuit. This wasn't just about defamation. Wolff invoked the First Amendment, claiming her threats were violating his right to free speech. And now he's pushing for something even bigger. He wants to drag her into a courtroom under oath and force her to answer questions she'd rather avoid. But Melania is playing a dangerous game, because once that legal door is opened, she might not be able to close it again. Melania's response? She didn't just take the hit quietly. Instead, she filed a move in federal court, trying to shift the case away from New York. She wants it in Florida. Why? Because that's where she claims to live. But here's where it gets strange. If she really has nothing to hide, why fight so hard to change the venue? If the facts were on her side, why not let the case stay in New York, where it started? It raises an immediate question. What's she trying to avoid? By moving it to federal court, she's dragging this out even longer, making it harder for Wolff to dig into her past. And here's the twist. She hasn't even filed a defamation suit against him. If she really believes she's been slandered, why not take him to court? Instead, she's dodging, deflecting, and hoping to buy time. The clock's ticking, and every move she makes only deepens the mystery. What's she hiding? As the legal battle rages on, Michael Wolff isn't backing down. He's digging in his heels, determined to get to the truth. He doesn't buy her claim of living in Florida, and he's not afraid to challenge it. Wolff's lawyers are now demanding jurisdictional discovery. They want to take Melania's deposition and force her to answer questions about where she actually lives. The pressure is mounting, and the stakes are higher than ever. Because if Wolff can prove that Melania has been lying about her residence, it could blow the entire case wide open. Not only would it throw out her federal court strategy, but it could also expose the real reason she's been fighting so hard to move the case. This isn't just a legal game anymore. It's turning into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, where every piece of evidence counts. If Wolff gets his hands on the right documents, Melania may find herself cornered in ways she didn't see coming. What happens when the walls start closing in? We're about to find out. But here's where things get even more complicated. Wolff is pushing hard for the truth, and he's not just aiming at Melania. He's going after the details, the flight records, the credit card statements, the travel logs, all of it. He's not just trying to catch her in a lie, he's working to paint a bigger picture. If Melania's been bouncing between Florida and New York, that could have serious implications. For one, it could unravel her entire defense strategy. If the court proves she's lying about her residence, it'll be a major blow, not just to her, but to everything she's tried to build. And this isn't a quiet legal dispute anymore. It's turning into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, where every piece of evidence counts. If Wolff gets his hands on the right documents, Melania may find herself cornered in ways she didn't see coming. What happens when the walls start closing in? We're about to find out. And now it gets personal. It's not just about legal strategies anymore. It's about Melania's life, her choices, and the public's perception of her. She's been hiding in the shadows, but the more she tries to deflect, the more questions arise. Why has she avoided the public eye for so long? Why doesn't she seem to care about clearing her name? This isn't just a case about defamation. This is about a woman with a murky past and a future that's looking more uncertain by the day. It's about the risk of exposure, the chance that everything she's carefully built could come crashing down. This isn't just the fight of her life. It's the one where she could lose everything. The deeper Wolff digs, the more it seems like Melania has nowhere left to hide. If she can't silence the truth, it will be louder than any threat she's ever made. So what's next? The clock is ticking, and this fight is far from over. Melania might be hoping for a lucky break, that Wolff's strategy will falter or the court will back off. But every step she takes to delay the inevitable only tightens the noose. If she doesn't face these questions head on, she risks making things worse, not just for herself, but for everyone connected to her. The truth is coming, whether she's ready for it or not. And as for Michael Wolff, he's not giving up until he's gotten the answers he's looking for. This could go in one of two directions. Either Melania finally faces the consequences of her actions, or she keeps running until it all unravels. One thing's for sure, this isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. Now, let's take a step back. What does this all really mean? Melania Trump is standing at a crossroads. Every move she makes, every delay, every legal maneuver creates more tension, more pressure. In the end, it's not just about one lawsuit or one journalist. It's about the system, the power plays, and the people who think they can avoid accountability. But here's the deep truth. When you're in the public eye and you've built a life on appearances, the truth has a way of catching up. Whether Melania likes it or not, the walls are closing in and the world is watching. What's next could determine not just her future, but how the entire world views her forever. Make sure you're following, because this story is far from over. And the next chapter, it might be the most shocking yet.